Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome back to my tutorial series where today we'll be looking at the various different mods in OpenTTD. Now, OpenTTD is a fantastic free game, and the vanilla gameplay is good, but you can expand upon the vanilla play with more features and different things with some mods. So today we'll be looking at what those mods are, where you can get them, how you can install them and configure them so that you can enjoy them. Now, if you don't already have OpenTTD, you can get it from the website or from Steam and get in the game and give it a go. I do recommend playing the vanilla game first. Bringing mods into things can add extra complexity which a new player may want to try and avoid to begin with. And then of course my tutorial series is great for getting you started. I've also got a video about changing some of your game settings to increase and enhance your experience, so you may want to check that out too. But once you've got to grips with the basics, then it's modding time. When I say mods in OpenTTD, I'm using it as an umbrella term to describe a number of different ways in which you can affect the gameplay. We're going to look at the main two ways, and that is the new GRFs and the game scripts. GRFs add things to the game. For example, you can have new vehicles or different industry sets, and the game scripts allow the game to be run in a slightly different way. For example, you may want to change the way that cities grow, or you may want to count the amount of cargo that is delivered to a particular location as some sort of competitive game. There are two different ways you can get mods into the game. You can do it externally by going to forums and stuff, and we'll have a quick look at that later, or you can use the internal tools of the game. You can go to the check online content feature in the home page of the game, and it'll bring you to the download page where there's all sorts of different content, including AI scripts. If you want me to look at them, do a comment down below in the video, and maybe I will do a video on that in the future. But in addition to the AI, there's also the base music and graphics which you can do, and those lovely mods. The game scripts, which allow all different things to be changed. Height maps, which I did a video about, so if you want to know more about that, check out my height map video. And also the new GRFs, including things like country roads and different train sets. So how do you then get these things? Well, it's actually quite straightforward. You tick the box next to the thing you want. In this case, I've randomly selected Hungarian Stations 3, and then you click download. Before you do so, you may want to have a look and see some of the information here. You can see that there's a link to a forum post about that particular mod, the GRF there, as well as the version number and some other information. So if you click download, it downloads the mod, and that's it. Done. You've got it. Now that you've downloaded your GRF, you can close the content and go to the new GRF settings page. Here you can see all the new GRF files that you've got in your system. I've got quite a few, and thankfully you can filter. So if I put HU, you can see our Hungarian stations are there. Above are the active ones, which we've got none of at the moment, and if I click add, it puts it up there into this list. Now at the minute there's only one thing in that list, but that's fine. Now it's important to know that this list is an ordered list. Sometimes you can get dependencies or conflicts in GRFs, and you need to move them up and down amongst each other, so keep an eye out for that. You can also then save this list as a preset. As you can see, I've got some presets here. For example, this is what I call my Vanilla Plus preset with a particular list of GRFs. But we don't want them. We're going to get rid of all of those, and we'll put that Hungarian station set back in there. And then once you've changed it to exactly what you want, you apply those changes. They will now happen for all the new games that you start. If you want to change mods for a game that's in progress, I've got a video all about that separately. So let's start a new game, and in this new game, if we go to railway construction and stations, you can see that we have these extra tile sets in the game. So we can now go in here and say, whoa, look at that, we've got a was it Christmas market style train track there with it's fantastic. Look, some of these mods are brilliant. Look at that, loads of them. We've got some non-track styles tiles as well, so we can have like a little row of trees next to it, or we'll do a row of, what is that, cherry trees? There's some empty tiles there and all sorts. There's loads of different, look at it, we've got on ramps, off ramps, up bits, down bits, buffer stops and all sorts. Isn't that fantastic? So we've added something to the game that wasn't previously there. Now some GRFs require configuring. So if we go into our GRF settings and just remove that one, I'm going to show you one called FIRS or FIRS, the industry replacement set, one of my favorites. And you can see that we've got this set in there now. Now you can see one of the options down here is set parameters. If you click that, it brings up a new window, and these are all the different options for that GRF. So you might want to change the economy from temperate basic, for example, to maybe steel town. Different GRFs will have different parameters, but this is how you then configure them. Choose what you want, close the window, apply the changes, and then you can go into your new game. Once in your new game, you can see that we haven't got the standard industries here. We've got some extra different ones, like this cryo plant and this coke oven. So sometimes you'll have to configure your GRFs before you apply and then start your game. So that's the GRF side of the mods. What about the scripts? Well, you get them from the same place in the online content, and there's a simple city builder script that I sometimes use, and you can see there's a little green dot by it. That means I've already got it. If I didn't already have it, once again, just like with the other stuff, I would tick the box, click download, and then I can go and configure it. So to then apply that, we go into the game script settings options. And it's in this window we choose our script. Now, unlike the GRFs, we can only have one script at once. So if we go to the script here, it says none. Well, we need to select the game script. And you see we've got quite a few different game scripts. I'm going to choose that city builder script and accept it. And you can see now that game script is applied at the top of the screen. And all of the parameters are listed here. There's no different section to go and change those parameters. They're listed like this. So there's some similarities between game scripts and GRFs, but there's also some differences. Remember those differences? You can only have one game script and the parameters are shown right here. And for the GRFs, you can have multiple. The order in the list matters, and you have to press a button to configure each GRF independently. So let's just say, for example, I mean, there's a lot of options here, but let's just say I want to change the goal. Instead of it being 10,000, I want it to be 11,000. Click OK, and then there we go. That's updated. We can close this and start a new game, and that new game will generate. And when we are running, you can see here we've got this extra pop-up here saying, now welcome to the City Builder experience. Okay, so there is a City Builder script running now on this.
This content is supported by Viewer Plus. With Viewer Plus, you're directly fueling the passion and projects of Master Hellish. Be rewarded with game server access, Viewer Plus Discord channels, double Hellish points, exclusive videos and more. With various plans to choose from, directly fuel the furnace for more thrilling entertainment. If you enjoy Master Hellish content, consider supporting today.
So that's inside OpenTTD. What about mods outside of OpenTTD? Well, there are places that you can get them all over the internet. One of the most popular places is the OpenTTD forums. Once you've found the thing that you want to install, go there, download it, and open your OpenTTD folder and pop it in the right place. Now, where your OpenTTD folder is depends on the platform that you're running on and if you've decided to manually move it to a different location. But by default, in modern versions of Windows, your OpenTTD folder is inside the Documents folder of your Windows profile. And then inside there, there's a content download folder where you can put in your game scripts in the game folder or your new GRFs in the new GRF folder. This is also where you can drop scenarios and stuff as well. Pop the files in there and then they'll be available within the game. Once you've done that, you can select them and configure them just like you did with the ones that we downloaded from inside the game. Now, a few notes about using mods. That OpenTTD folder that I mentioned just a moment ago, you might want to back it up. I back mine up and I don't really think much could go wrong, but if it does, you've got to back up. I haven't needed to use my backups yet, but it's a small price to pay in case something goes wrong, I suppose. It's up to you. Now, also, before using mods in big multiplayer games, say you got a number of friends around and you want to have a big gaming day, it's a good idea to test your mods. These mods are used and made by a variety of different people. Some of them don't work brilliantly, some of them have their own quirks, or some of them might just not work exactly how you expected them to. Definitely test before going into a big game. Get a sandbox game going, use some cheats, get the money in, have a play around with it, experiment with the mods first, make sure they work how you expect them to, then go play a big game of it or a multiplayer game of it later. And finally, as I mentioned previously, it is possible to change mods in a game that's already in progress, but that often breaks it. Like I said, I've got a video about that, so if you want to look into it, check it out. Now, if you want to know what mods I suggest you use or some ideas, I've actually got that in a video coming up soon. So if you've got any mods that you like, let me know down in the comments which ones you think I should include in that video. So there we go, folks, a whistle-stop tour about how to use mods in OpenTTD. It's actually quite easy to do. Just jump in the screen, tick the box, click download, apply them, and have a go. If you've got any thoughts, ideas, or questions, please pop them down in the comments below. Remember, this is part of a series, so you might want to check out the link to the playlist in the video description, and I will see you soon. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and for now, goodbye.